is Max.
And I'm Calvin.
And we're hosting So You Wanna Be a... Today's job is one giant leap for our podcast.
That's right. We're talking about the people who leave Earth, float among stars, and sometimes even fix spaceships that are worth more than a house.
We're talking about
Astronauts. So, Max, what do astronauts actually do?
astronauts are trained to travel into space and do important work. That can mean flying spacecraft, running experiments to learn more about our planet and the universe, or just testing new technology.
They repair equipment, collect samples, and sometimes even build things while orbiting hundreds of miles above Earth.
And you know they do all of that while living in zero gravity, which makes brushing your teeth an adventure.
Because if you let go of your toothbrush, it will just float away.
But what does a day look like for an astronaut?
Well, their morning isn't like ours. On the International Space Station, their sun rises and sets about 16 times a day because they orbit around Earth every 90 minutes.
Imagine trying to sleep with that schedule.
They start with breakfast and spend their day doing science experiments, checking on spacecraft systems, exercising for about 2 hours to keep their bodies healthy, and talking to mission controls back on Earth.
And their food comes in special packages, so it doesn't just float away. They drink through pouches with straws, no spilling in space.
So, Max, how do you actually become an astronaut?
First, you need a degree in science, engineering, or even math. Then you need years of experience, maybe as a scientist, engineer, doctor, or pilot.
You got to be in great physical and mental shape. NASA's selection process is extremely tough. Only a tiny percentage of applicants make it.
Yeah, like less than 1% in some years. And it's one of the most competitive jobs on Earth and off Earth too. But why do people love it so much?
For starters, you get to see Earth from space. You literally look at the whole planet in one view.
And you get to contribute to science in a way that affects everyone on Earth. Things like studying climate change, developing new materials, and even helping with medical breakthroughs.
Plus, you float in zero gravity, which is basically like having a superpower.
Until you try to eat soup. Then not so super.
Okay, I think it's time to launch some super fun space facts.
Buckle up. Here comes some super stellar facts.
Did you know that astronauts train for spacewalk underwater? NASA has a pool the size of a football field to practice.
And each spacesuit they use is about worth $12 million. Basically like wearing a super expensive personal spaceship.
Without gravity, astronauts can grow up to 2 inches taller in space.
But they shrink back when they return to Earth, kind of like a balloon deflating. Also, the longest continuous time someone has ever spent in space was 437 days by a Russian cosmonaut named Valery Polyakov.
That's over a year of floating around.
What can kids do now if they want to be an astronaut someday?
Stay curious, learn as much science and math as you can, but also develop skills like problem solving and teamwork.
Keep your body healthy. Astronauts need to be strong and in good shape.
Don't be afraid to dream big. The path might be challenging, but people from all kinds of backgrounds make it into space.
You never know. The first person to set foot on Mars could be someone listening to this right now. All right, that's it for today's episode.
We hope you have fun learning about what it takes to be an astronaut.
If you like this episode, don't forget to follow and tell your friends.
And if you want us to talk about another amazing job, let us know.
And if you are or know an astronaut, tell us so we can do a follow-up episode.
Thank you. Goodbye.